All I wanted was some time from Lil Tay. Hey, but she always flexing, flexing. I tried to call Lil Tay, but every time she always flexing. She flexing.
It is our responsibility to police ourselves and know how we handle conflict. Look ourselves in the mirror and from there teach the next person. Each one, teach one.
When 38-year-old Taylor Sylver stepped into Charlotte's NoDa district on the night of May 20th, the plan was simple. Have a few drinks, laugh with friends, enjoy the nightlife, and be home before the city traded neon lights for sunrise. It was the kind of ordinary night millions of people have every weekend without a second thought. No warnings, no sense of danger, no reason to believe that a brief encounter inside a crowded bar would turn an evening of fun into something far more sinister. But sometimes tragedy doesn't arrive wearing a mask. Sometimes it walks through the front door looking just like everyone else. According to her online presence, 26-year-old Adaysia Coles appeared to be everything society tells us represents success. A college graduate from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, educated, accomplished, and seemingly equipped with the maturity to navigate life's frustrations. The kind of person many would assume had outgrown the impulsive chaos that destroys lives in an instant. Yet as history repeatedly reminds us, a degree can decorate a wall, but it cannot guarantee emotional control. And when Taylor and Adaysia crossed paths that night, what should have been dismissed as a minor misunderstanding instead became the opening chapter of a nightmare. Because sometimes all it takes is one bruised ego, one reckless decision, and one person unwilling to walk away for an ordinary night to end in extraordinary violence. Welcome to the American Crime Femicide channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future uploads.
Put some in your mouth first. Don Julio, like a Fulio. Okay. Just squirt it in your mouth. It's jelly. Or what are we squirting in my mouth? I'm an influencer. Yo. So you say, take a drop, put it on my tongue, and then squirt it. Stop saying that word like that. It comes out like jelly, like it's not. Put more. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
On the night of May 20th, 2026, Taylor did what millions of Americans do every weekend. She got dressed, met up with people she loved, and headed out for what was supposed to be a fun night in Charlotte's popular entertainment district. There were no warnings and no signs that this ordinary evening would end in tragedy. Taylor was simply looking forward to spending time with friends, sharing a few laughs, and enjoying herself before heading home. Instead, she would become the victim of a deadly shooting that would devastate her family and shock the Charlotte community. What began as an ordinary night out would soon turn into a nightmare. For Taylor, the evening was supposed to be simple and carefree. She was out with her best friend and sister-in-law, Isa, enjoying the nightlife. According to her family, the night took a turn after an accidental encounter with a woman she had never met before. Early reports suggested the conflict involved a man, but Taylor's brother, Sylver, quickly pushed back against that narrative. He said his sister would never fight over a man and described those rumors as completely false. According to Morris, the confrontation began with something far more trivial. It started when Taylor accidentally brushed against another woman in a crowded bar. That woman was later identified as Adaysia. According to Taylor's family, the two women had never met before that night and had no previous relationship. They were not friends, co-workers, rivals, or connected through any romantic dispute. Morris said Taylor's group immediately attempted to calm the situation once tensions began to rise. At one point, Coles reportedly dropped her purse, and instead of escalating the conflict, Taylor's group picked it up and returned it to her. Family members say they repeatedly tried to de-escalate the situation and made it clear they did not want any trouble. Unfortunately, what should have ended as a minor misunderstanding allegedly continued to escalate. In a world where people often allow pride and anger to dictate their decisions, even the smallest disagreements can become dangerous. Every weekend across America, people accidentally bump into one another in crowded bars, clubs, and restaurants. Most of those encounters end with an apology or are forgotten within seconds. But according to investigators, this encounter did not end that way. Instead, it allegedly grew into a confrontation that would eventually cost someone their life. A moment that should have been insignificant became something far more serious. According to court documents and witness statements, a physical altercation eventually occurred between Taylor and Coles. However, for most people, that would have been the end of the story. Once the argument was over, everyone could have gone their separate ways and moved on with their lives. Taylor eventually left the area and began walking toward her vehicle. It was the natural conclusion to a night that had already been spoiled by unnecessary drama. Friends likely assumed the worst part of the evening was behind them. Unfortunately, investigators say the real tragedy was still moments away. Witnesses told police that Coles allegedly pulled alongside Taylor as she was walking to her car. According to the affidavit, gunfire erupted shortly afterward. Just after 2 a.m., officers responded to reports of a shooting on the 3200 block of North Davidson Street in NoDa. Taylor had been shot and was rushed to a nearby hospital for emergency treatment. Medical personnel fought to save her life, but her injuries proved too severe. Despite their efforts, Taylor died from her wounds. In a matter of seconds, a night out with friends had turned into a homicide investigation.
She's absolutely more than a headline. Taylor she was a vibrant, energetic, very friendly young lady, full of life.
Renee Phillips is holding on to the happy memories of her cousin, Taylor Sylver.
We spent summers together. When my side of the family got older, then we started to travel to New York. There wasn't a summer or a holiday that we did not see each other.
Phillips is also remembering Taylor's zest for life.
Very outgoing and friendly. She did not meet a stranger. When she entered a room, her smile would just vibrate the room. She was full of energy and she was very compassionate.
As investigators worked to piece together what happened, the search for the suspect quickly expanded beyond North Carolina. Authorities eventually tracked Adaysia to Birmingham, Alabama. She was arrested without incident and taken into custody pending extradition back to Charlotte. According to investigators, Coles allegedly told a witness that the firearm used in the shooting had been left at an apartment on Dahlia Drive in East Charlotte. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the residence and recovered a firearm and ammunition. Authorities announced that Coles would face a murder charge once returned to North Carolina. The criminal investigation continues as prosecutors prepare their case. For Taylor's family, however, no arrest could undo the damage that had already been done. While investigators focused on warrants, evidence, witness statements, and court proceedings, her loved ones were forced to confront a painful new reality. They were no longer discussing Taylor in the present tense, but in memories and stories. Every family gathering would now include an empty space where she once stood. Every holiday would serve as a reminder of the person who should still be there. The legal system could pursue accountability, but it could never restore what had been taken. The family was left mourning a loss that can never truly be replaced.
I will not be able to forgive you until I can fully understand why you made the decision to do what you did.
Brenda Sylver McConaughey is Taylor's older sister. She says that's the number one question that keeps her up at night.
1 minute I'm okay. Next minute I'm angry. Next minute I'm sad.
As Taylor's family prepares to say their final goodbyes, newly filed court documents revealing chilling details. According to the warrant, TMPD responded on May 21st to an assault with a deadly weapon call.
Taylor was shot.
She later died at the hospital. Detectives say Taylor and the suspect, identified as Adaysia Coles, had been involved in an altercation after leaving a nearby bar. They say the women separated and walked towards their vehicles, but according to witness statements in the affidavit, the suspect then drove up beside Taylor and opened fire.
She drove up to where Taylor was, said something, and then launched the attack.
Police say witnesses recognized the shooting from the earlier altercation, and after obtaining video from inside the bar, they matched Coles' identification and vehicle. Details still too difficult for the Sylver family to hear.
And I'm actually worried about one of my siblings because she's now having panic attacks. It's a gut-wrenching reaction, and sleeping is not, it's hard to sleep because...
The search warrant also revealing how the case stretched beyond Charlotte. Police say Coles was arrested in Bessemer, Alabama, later the same day on a murder warrant. After her arrest, officials say a witness known to law enforcement told detectives Coles admitted to the shooting and said the firearm used was inside an apartment on Dahlia Drive in northeast Charlotte. Detectives later searched that apartment where they seized weapons and ammunition.
We want justice. I need to know why you made the choice that you did.
Those who knew Taylor describe her as someone whose personality immediately filled a room. She was vibrant, energetic, and known for her ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Friends and family say she never met a stranger and had a gift for making people feel welcome. Taylor's smile had the ability to light up an entire room. She was known for her compassion, kindness, and willingness to help others whenever they needed support. Her positive energy left a lasting impression on everyone fortunate enough to know her. Taylor was originally from New York and came from a large, close-knit family. She was one of 9 siblings and shared her life with 4 brothers and 3 sisters. She was also a proud aunt to 18 nieces and nephews who adored her. Family members say she was often the person responsible for bringing everyone together during difficult times. While disagreements and misunderstandings happen in every family, Taylor was usually the one working to repair relationships. Her brother Morris described her as the glue that held everyone together. When tensions arose, she was often the person encouraging forgiveness and reconciliation. During an interview, Taylor's brother Morris reflected on their childhood. He shared memories that highlighted the special bond they had. He laughed while remembering how he teased Taylor when they were younger. As the oldest brother, he often tried to make her act like the little brother he never had. Other times, he joked that he treated her like the family pet because they never had one growing up. Even decades later, Taylor would still remind him about those childhood antics whenever they got together. Those memories, once simple stories shared among siblings, have now become treasured reminders of a sister he can no longer call. Perhaps the most painful memory Morris shared was also the most recent. Just days before Taylor's death, she had taken him out to lunch for his birthday. At the time, it was simply a brother and sister spending time together. Neither of them knew it would be the last meal they would ever share. Neither knew that within days their family would be shattered by violence. What seemed like an ordinary birthday lunch has now become a memory Morris holds onto dearly. It is a reminder of Taylor's love, generosity, and devotion to her family. Today, Morris says he plans to dedicate himself to advocating against gun violence. He believes his sister's death was preventable and that families should not have to experience this type of pain. Taylor's story is yet another reminder of how quickly minor conflicts can spiral into deadly consequences. What began as an accidental bump inside a crowded bar ultimately ended with the family losing someone they loved deeply. For those who knew her best, Taylor was much more than a victim in a headline. She was a daughter, sister, and friend, and the person who always worked to keep her family together. Though she is gone, her smile, compassion, and love will continue to live on in the hearts of those she left behind. Rest in peace, Taylor Sylver,